Hey everyone! Welcome back to the Dart programming series. In the last episode, we got introduced to Dart and wrote our first Hello World program. If you missed that episode, be sure to check it out. Today, we're diving into something crucial for every programming language: syntax and data types in Dart. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid understanding of how to declare variables and work with Dart's fundamental data types. Let's get started. Alright, let's kick things off by talking about variables. In Dart, a variable is essentially a container that holds data. To declare a variable, we use the var keyword. Let's see an example. So here, we declared a variable called name and assigned it the value John. The great thing about Dart is that it's smart enough to infer the type of the variable based on the value we assign to it. In this case, it understands that name is a string. But sometimes, you want to be explicit about your variable types. Dart supports multiple data types, so let's explore some of the most common ones: int, double, string, and bool. Let's take a look at how to define variables with specific types. Here we have an integer for age, a double for height, a string for city, and a boolean for isStudent. Pretty simple, right? Dart enforces type safety, meaning once you assign a type to a variable, you can't change it to a different type. Now, you might be wondering, what's the difference between int and double? Well, int is used for whole numbers, while double is used for numbers with decimals. Let me show you how both work in practice. Here's an example of using both int and double in mathematical operations. In this code, we're calculating the total cost of apples by multiplying an int, the number of apples, with a double, the price per apple. When you run this, you'll see that Dart easily handles operations between int and double. Now let's move on to strings. Dart's string type is used to represent text. You can define strings with either single quotes or double quotes. But there's more to strings than just simple text. You can also do something called string interpolation. Let's take a look at this. Notice how I've used the $$ symbol to inject the value of first name and last name directly into the full name. This is called string interpolation, and it's super useful for building dynamic strings. Lastly, let's quickly talk about Dart's Boolean type. A bool can only hold true or false. You'll often use booleans in conditions like if statements, which we'll cover more in the next episode. But here's a sneak peek at how booleans work. Here's a basic example of using a boolean. If is raining is true, it prints take an umbrella, otherwise, it prints no umbrella needed. And that's a wrap for this episode. Today, we covered some of the core data types in Dart: integers, doubles, strings, and booleans. In the next episode, we'll dive into control flow, how to make decisions in your Dart code using if statements, loops, and more. Be sure to like this video if you found it helpful, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next one, and leave a comment if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.